Welcome to day 5 of my P&O Iona Norwegian Fjords cruise. And I woke up early to watch the sail into the beautiful port of Olden. And as I wanted to do 2 excursions today, it was a case of getting up and out. Never tried to do this before, so today was really going to be an adventure. The plan was to visit the Briksdal Glacier first, head back to the ship for some lunch, and then go over to the Loen Skylift in the afternoon. Olden was one of the main reasons that we booked this cruise, and I knew I had to see as much as I could in a short period of time. And the weather theme was going to continue. It was going to be another cool and wet day. The coach and troll car up the mountain, booked by Olden Adventures, was £63 each. And there's no advantage to booking the excursion via P&O. You will still need to visit the ticket counter to exchange your voucher for a ticket. And booking direct with Olden Adventures is considerably cheaper than booking with P&O itself. And you'll also be able to choose the time that the coach leaves. And if you'd like to book another excursion through them, say for the Loen Skylift, you'll get a 10% discount. And with tickets in hand, it was time to cross over the road and head towards the shuttle bus. Which was located at a petrol station just a short walk away. Strange things for afoot at the Circle K. And the Briksdal Glacier is one of the arms of the Briksdal Glacier, which is the largest glacier in continental Europe. It's sadly been in retreat for many years, so I didn't want to miss this opportunity to go and see it for myself.
And in front of us now, up the road to the right, is the old church in Olden. It was first built in 1740.
This is one of the larger glacial lakes, which has this amazing turquoise colour water. And after about 45 minutes, the coach dropped us off. And while we waited for our time slot for the troll car, we had an opportunity to pop into the shop to see what they had for sale. Which, as you can imagine, in Norway was going to be a lot of warm clothes. Plus some branded trinkets and a selection of Christmas items. The glacier itself is 3 kilometres from here. And if you'd like to book a troll car independently, you can do it here. But I'd recommend you do that first thing, as you don't want to miss the ship leaving. Typically, my troll car was going to be the last one. It's fine by me, I was really looking forward to this. And it is possible to walk up to the glacier. The guide says it has a slight incline for the first half and then it's flat for the rest of the way. But I personally wouldn't recommend that for anybody with mobility issues. And just as these trees cleared, I got my first view of the glacier. And then I saw this amazing waterfall. And at this stage I wondered, how close am I really going to get to this waterfall? And the answer was up close and personal. So it's definitely worth bringing some waterproof clothing. Or at least sit on the opposite side of the troll car. That was just so amazing. scenery here was absolutely stunning. It was like nothing else I've ever seen. The journey here took about 10 minutes. It was absolutely exhilarating. And the final ascent up to the glacier was a fairly short walk away. But just so you're aware, it was a little bit steep in places. And on the ascent, you will see markers placed in positions where the glacier had previously reached. And this bridge was a very popular place to stop off and grab some photos. And as you pass beneath these two rocks, you're only a few short footsteps away from the glacier. And I briefly stopped off here to read the sign about how glaciers are made. Here I am at the foot of the glacier. This really was somewhere that had to be seen to be believed. And it may feel a bit passé to say that this was a magical experience, but it was a truly magical experience. And as I waited for the troll car to take me back down, I took one last look at the glacier. Hello, goats! And these swings are a popular photo spot for those that chose to hike to the glacier. And right about now I'd realised I'd sat on the wrong side of the troll car. But this was when I was thankful I had my waterproofs on. This whole experience has been absolutely unforgettable. And after such an amazing morning, it was time to get back on Iona and have some lunch. And I headed up to the Coral main dining room. The lunch menu tends to be small, as do the portions, but the food here is delicious. And while lunch is offered every day, it's seldom busy. I went for the split pea soup for starters, the roast chicken baguette for my main course, and the banana yogurt mousse for dessert. Other excursions were available, such as the tourist train and the sightseeing double-decker bus. And the cheapest way to get around is by public transport on this local bus. But my second excursion of the day was to the Loen Skylift. And at the top of which offers incredible views across the whole fjord. I would say that the Skylift is definitely a better option for early afternoon when the clouds have lifted. There's a live webcam, so you can monitor the weather and the view, and make the choice whether you want to do the lift or not. And I've left a link to the webcam in the description below. Buses run regularly, so you won't be waiting long at the dock. If you come after lunch, you won't be waiting long for the Skylift either. Booking direct with Olden Adventures and including the discount, it worked out to be £57 each. And for those of you who've been following my channel for some time know I do love riding in the cable car. And luckily it wasn't too packed, and within a couple of minutes I was on my way. Today was a day in which the incredibly beautiful scenery, it just didn't stop coming. And the cable car takes you to the top of Mount Hoven, which is over 1,000 metres above sea level. And after a few amazing minutes, I had arrived. And this safety sign outlines some of the risks when you're up in the mountains. So please be careful when you're up here. Especially if you want to do some of the more adventurous activities like the zip line. This is the viewing platform where you can see the surrounding mountains and fjords. And seeing these views from up here made the cost all worth it. And just look how small Iona looks. It really was windy Miller up here. And once again the weather started to take a turn for the worst. I visited in mid-July, not that you'd really know it from the footage. I would definitely suggest wearing clothes in layers, as it was substantially cooler here than it was down in the fjord. And also make sure you have the right footwear, as it can still be icy and slippery up here. And here you could see the outlines of all the surrounding mountains and their respective heights. It was probably far more impressive on a less cloudy day. Legend has it that Mount Hoven got its name from Odin's horse Siltnir, who struck his hoof and left a powerful impression on the mountainside. The zip line really does look like fun, but I think I'll leave that to others to do. And as we didn't want to miss Iona leaving, it was time to head back down in the Skylift. And for those wondering if you can do both excursions on the same day, the answer is obviously yes. Enjoyed both of the excursions, I didn't feel rushed, and I thought the day was perfect. Even the rain couldn't ruin this day. And once back I had some time to admire the ship and check out the little shops which are opposite. And then it was time to get back on board the ship for the best sail away in the Norwegian fjords. Sailing away to Sweet Caroline wasn't something I was expecting. But you know what? Something about it was just perfect. There were so many people on their balconies just soaking this experience in. And then there was this spontaneous round of applause for the wonderful people of Olden. And look out for the Siverson family, who have these huge yellow hands to wave the ships away. Dinner tonight was in the Glass House, which is curated by P&O food hero Ollie Smith. Ollie is known as being a TV presenter, wine expert, columnist and author. And he brings all the expertise right here at the Glass House on Iona and other P&O ships. And while this is a specialty dining restaurant, as you can see, the prices are pretty reasonable. There's a wide selection of small plates for you to choose from, plus of course more substantial meals. Include both a seafood and vegan option. I decided to go for the chicken trio, which was absolutely delicious. However, while eating my meal, I could hear some commotion on the deck below. So I quickly went down the stairs to see what was going on. It was some kind of circus performance. I couldn't find anything about it in the Horizon magazine, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. And after watching that for a little while, I headed back up to the Glass House for my dessert, where I decided to share the British Retro 3-piece suite. Now this really is a way to finish off a meal. Tonight's show in the Headliners Theatre was Greatest Days, the official Take That musical. I can't really say I was a fan of Take That, but as a musical, it was fun. And it seemed very popular with the rest of the audience. And afterwards, I headed to the clubhouse for a bit of late night adult music and comedy with Josh Adams, which was much more to my taste. Many thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing.